What's up? It's your girl Nikki St. Clair, and I am back with another video. I was talking to my friend today, and we were basically talking about, was I ready to start dating and putting myself out there? And I told him, I said, listen, I am still reconstructing myself. I have to rewire myself. I said, because, when you come into this world as a woman, everything is connected. Your mind, your heart, your body is connected. Your mind, your heart, your body is connected. And so, as you get older and you realize the ways of the world and the ways of people, they tend to disappoint you. They tend to really just take advantage of you, and you become like them as opposed to staying intact. So what ends up happening as a woman is things become disconnected. You tell your mind to not connect to your heart, and you tell your body it's just a body part used to actively do bodily things with other people. And you tell your heart to shut off, to heal, or perhaps tell your heart just to, you don't get the chance to heal. You just shut it off. And you become really, really bitter. And you build a wall around it. Very much like Marianne says, I have an ice box where my heart used to be. There's so many people that's walking around like that, damn near heartless. I even think about the Grinch who stole Christmas when he finally shed a tear. He had been up on that hill in the cave all that time. And he had disconnected from the world, and he had become so angry because so many people had affected him to where he just said, you know what, F it. I'm going to go off and I'm going to be to myself. But, it's something about when you go away and you take the time to get by yourself that you begin to heal, you begin to think things out, you begin to work things out, you begin to revisit your past, you begin to understand why you're the way that you are. And I'm telling you guys, no one was meant to come in this world with the three things. Your heart, your mind, and your body should not be disconnected. And I'm encouraging everyone to step away from every distraction. If you're with a person and that person is really not for you, they are a distraction. If you are around friends that are encouraging you to get involved in certain behaviors and situations that don't support your growth, I really challenge you to step away from it and just be by yourself. Now, in the beginning, y'all, I was so angry with God. I said, God, who am I gonna love? Like, who's gonna love me? Like, I was so angry because I was so used to having suitors lined up and saying, you know what, next. Well, he's always wanted to take me out next, 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 next. And I never, ever gave myself a chance to heal. And those three things became disconnected. And it was kind of like, well, we're just effing. Well, whatever. Like, he cool. But no, I'm good on love right now. I'm not looking to love anybody. And before I knew it, I wasn't displaying self-love, y'all. I was just doing things just to pass the time, just to entertain things that didn't support my growth. And I've wasted so much time when you look in hindsight and you say, damn, I could be further along spiritually, emotionally, mentally than what I am. But I thank God, who's ahead of my life, that has set me down and allowed me to reflect. Now, at first, I went into a deep depression, and it was almost like a self-imposed prison, right? I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't want to comb my hair. I had dishes in the sink. Anyone who knows me knows I keep a very clean house, that I put my makeup on and I present myself well. I didn't want to be bothered. I did not want to be seen. Even when I went to work, I had my hair tied up, no makeup, just doing my job. And I was very, very short with people because I was hurting. Have you ever stubbed your toe and someone is like, hey, are you okay? Let me rub that for you. You don't want to be touched. You don't want to be touched. You don't want them to say anything to you because you, at that very point in time, are in so much pain. You just don't want any noise. You don't want any interference. And that's the type of pain spiritually that I was going through, you guys. And but when the pain subsided and I began to heal, guys, I began to grow. And outside noise, it began to really, really affect me and bother me. Because I started to enjoy myself. I started to enjoy who I was becoming. I continued to walk around with my hair tied up. I did put a little lipstick on, no eyelashes or anything, and wore long dresses, a lot of layers. And I just walked with my head held high because the inside of me, I know my potential, and I began to know who I was. I liked who I was becoming, and I began to truly, truly love myself. And I felt powerful. I felt like I exuded confidence and power. And those who knew and who were spiritually inclined, guys, they began to look at me in awe. Many people, I could enter a room. Please excuse me. And those who knew, who were spiritually inclined, could look at me and they would stare at me. It's as if they could see me, and oh my God, that is the most uncomfortable thing, you guys. Babies begin to look at you. Even sometimes pets. I'm telling you guys, when you give yourself a chance to get to know you and heal, you begin to vibrate on a higher level. And things are different. You see the world so different. You see people different. The things that used to really annoy you, people that used to kind of poke at you and get you to banter back and forth with them, you don't do it anymore. You just see them for what it is and you say, you know what, I'm hey, I hope everything gets better for you. And you truly mean it. And don't be ashamed or don't be surprised if once you come out of your cave, you're having your Grinch experience, but I swear when you come out that cave, you see the world different. And I don't know, it's kind of like once you shed that tear, once you really shed your tear, or you have a moment, it's more or less, you're not sad, you're not angry, but you have compassion for the people. And you really, really pray that they grow, you guys. You don't even get mad no more. You just see people for who they are and where they are. And it's not a place of haughtiness. It's just a place of holiness, to where now you're responsible spiritually to pray for those that you see. Because a lot of people are spiritually delayed. They're physically and mentally delayed. And I don't mean that like as far as, I don't mean that as being slow or anything like that, but I feel like they've let life get the best of them and they got stagnated in life. And like they should be further along in life than what they are. Now, it doesn't mean that anybody should be driving a Benz or a Bentley or living in the biggest house on the hill. But I'm talking about really rich. I mean fortified. I mean wealthy. On the inside, spiritually wealthy. You have your heart, your soul, and your mind, and it's all together. Your mind, your heart, and your body are in sync. Once you put it together and you rewire it and it works together, you're in your original form. I mean, God meant for us to be this way and not separate the three, you guys. I remember being so excited. I'm not going to hold you, but remember being so excited when we finally got the big, this is in the 80s, sound systems and stereos were big in the 80s. And then you would get like your equalizer, where you can just kind of add the bass and the treble, and then you, that was one level. And then you had your radio, and that was another level. And then at the bottom or the top, you would either have a record player or a CD player. And you would add all of those together. And then once you plugged in those speakers, oh my God, it was life, y'all. It was life. Those three things came together because they were meant to be connected together. And then if you took it apart for some reason, or something got disconnected, or there was a short in the speaker, you couldn't hear. I mean, it just threw off everything, right? Because what is it to have this beautiful stainless steel dynamite, speaker set, or radio or stereo set, right? But the equalizers off, the amplifier, all of the different parts are not in sync. It's almost a waste. It almost makes you feel like this is just taking up space. This is in the way. Makes you want to get rid of it. But those who were smart would take it to a repair place, or they would reach out to a DJ that they knew, or an electrician, right? And he would just take over. And before you knew it, it was as good as new. Maybe he had to replace your speaker because you blew it out and it sounded distorted, right? And that's what it is to separate yourself and reach out to God and have him to rewire you guys and replace some parts that are burnt out and distorted. You know, I just want to encourage you guys. I know a lot of times we become so dependent on people. We're used to talking to them on the phone for hours every day about nothing. We're used to watching the same court shows every day, the same TikTok, the same memes on Instagram. We're used to it, but it is a mere distraction, and we lose ourselves. And I'd encourage everybody and challenge everyone to just step away just for a little while. Get to know yourself. Get to enjoy silence. Get to begin to enjoy and bask in peace. And you will find out where you are, who you are, where you need to be, and what you need to pray for to get to where you need to go. So, I love you guys. I know it's a very short video. I hope that I reach somebody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share if you care. And I'll be talking to you really soon. Okay? But don't be afraid to be alone. And in those moments of being alone, and in those silent moments of solitude, begin to search for your healer and ask him to heal you and heal your heart and heal the parts that you forgot about. You guys, I just want to say one more thing. Sometimes I would reflect on certain childhood traumas and how I was not protected, or how I was raised by a young mother, you know, who was a young single mom who did the best she could. And I remember being 23 and 24, and I'm nothing like I am now. My mental state is so different. My way of thinking, the things that were important back then are not important to me now. Okay? So sometimes you have to, when you get in that mode of solitude, you gather an understanding and you're able to forgive those people where they were in life. And you're also able to analyze yourself and realize why. Why did I make that mistake? Why did I choose to go that way? Why? But after you finish realizing, hey, well, I was raised to, I was actually raised to, hey, if you're good to them, if you're good to people, people are going to be good to you. And I spent most of my life after displaying those values that were instilled in me. When I got to the real world, I found myself saying, it's not fair. That's not fair. I was good to them. I did good for them. I was there for them, and they weren't there for me, and it's just not fair. I had to learn the way of the world, and I got deprogrammed, and things began to separate. My heart, my mind, and my body began to separate. And my body just did body things. And my heart was shut off because I felt like nobody was worthy of it. And my mind was like, I'm doing this because I want to do it. And F everybody else. And that's not the way God intended for us to be, you guys. It just isn't. So, again, I challenge you to, a lot of times back in the day, many preachers and people in spiritual positions would go on sabbaticals. They would go off by themselves or have a shut-in because they would need to hear a word from on high, and they would need to be in solitude so that they can grow and they can raise up and go higher. I encourage you to do this. I encourage you to share the information that I'm giving you. This is the only way we're going to win spiritually, is we get our spiritual life together. Everything happens in the spirit first. Get your spiritual life together. Pray more. Meditate more. Listen to things that are edifying and that support your growth spiritually, so that you can win and you can be stronger, and you can be stronger for the next person. And I promise you, even though I've been away for so long, when I walk these streets, when I go to these jobs, people feel me. They feel my vibration. I don't have to say anything. People come to me and say, I think you're a woman of God. You pray. I had a man to ask me. He was a Mexican man, young, tatted, with all kind of tattoos all over his body. And he said, man, I feel you. I could feel your spirit. You remind me of love. You remind me of my grandma. And can you pray for me right now? I'm at work, y'all. And I prayed for him and I hugged him and he began to cry. And it ain't been easy, y'all. I've been abstaining from things and people of yesterday. And in the beginning, I'm telling you, I was really sad, and I was scared because I didn't know what to expect when it came to my tomorrow. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like myself. But guess what? I didn't like myself before I went through this transformation. And through this transformation, I've developed self-love, self-care, self-dedication. I've become a little selfish, but I'm not self-centered. All I want is what God wants from me. And that's all He's ever wanted from me. And I was scared because sometimes God don't give you your way. Sometimes the details, y'all, I've been in the GPS war, where I'm like, wow, GPS don't know what he's talking about. I'm about to go this way because it's faster. And when I did that, I would run into a shitload of traffic, or there was a car accident, and I just was sitting there. But I'm telling you, when you hear the directions from on high, and you run into traffic a few times, oh, your behind is going to start listening. And sometimes God will allow you to understand why He took you the way that He took you. I'm encouraging you guys, don't be scared. And like Nike, just do it. Because you've been doing it your way. How's that been working out for you? How has that been working out for you? It hasn't. Love you guys so much. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.